Kyle, it's Rich from the auto auction.
Hey, Rich, how we doing? It's Trump here. It's a little expressway. We serve barbecue, lots of barbecue. I love my barbecue. It's much better than Texas. I hate to tell you. Make auctions great again. I love you, buddy. Meet me at the gate.
I'm Rich Levene, and this is Meet Me at the Gate, where we're not just talking theory, we're tackling real-world problems head-on, driving solutions that supercharge productivity and team dynamics. Every episode is a journey towards improvement, empowering you, the manager, to lead with innovation and confidence. Join us to transform everyday roadblocks into highways for success. This is the end of season number 1, Meet Me at the Gate. We've recorded 39 episodes. This is episode number 40.
Whoa.
So 40 of them. So Ty inspired me the other day, and I went back. We just launched a video, Kyle. It's out there. Go watch it on YouTube. Anybody listening, make sure you go hit it up. It's called The Magic of Sale Day. Yeah. Talked about auctioneers. But in that video, Ty said, you know, we need to make auctions great again. Bam. I'm inspired. So what does it take to get us back to good old-fashioned auctions? You talked about auctioneers last time, but overall, let's add to it. Obviously, you can't have an auction without an auctioneer, right? Correct. What is this eBay crap? eBay. ECB. eBay and anybody that may have copied after eBay. You know, what is it called? That front lot, middle lot place, whatever, somewhere lot, the square lot, the whatever lot, that place.
Back lot.
Yeah, there we go. Make sure you get the buzzer out for that one. And then you got that other one. What is it? Something BDF auctions or something like that. Buffalo Dumb B auctions.
I think you mean ACV is what you're trying to say.
Oh, there it is. There's the other one. Do they have an auctioneer?
A quick point to ACV, though. Obviously, great company. They've done very well, but it's inspiring to me that they're buying in-lane auctions. You know, that's kind of interesting. Nobody really knows the real answer why, but other than what isn't there to love about a real in-lane auction?
You don't think it had anything to do with the NAAA lawsuit they had?
It could have been maybe a little something.
Ty, I mean, you and I had a couple conversations. What does it take to get back to old school auctions where it's fun again? Like, how do we make them great again? What are we missing?
I've landed my number one, and it can change, but my number one right now is customer service. And
why? What's happening? What's going on?
And then the question is, really, who's your customer? I've never worked in an auction. I don't own an auction. But I'm thinking you got more than one customer as an auction. You got a lot of vendors running around. Are those customers? Do you count them as a customer?
The truckers are our customers.
Truckers? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't say it. I didn't say it, Rich.
What is it you do again, Ty?
Transport guy.
Ty's my favorite mother trucker.
Mother trucker, yeah. There you go.
Last night, Tuesday's our night, and it was so much fun because, we try to, I think a lot of inline auctions try to have these special event sales, just kind of promo stuff, but it was fun, man. We had free food. We opened up our restaurant. We got some old school barbecue, and we just kind of created, the auction's the auction, but at the end of the day, it's almost an event, and I love, especially the independents and how creative we all get on creating that event. It's not just, come to the sale and buy some cars. It's the atmosphere, the fun, the customer relations, just like you said, Ty. And, at the end of the night, it's fun to come in the office and say, man, that was a lot of work to get the sale where it was. But what's exciting is everyone comes up and says, man, the food was so good. The market was on fire. Everything just kind of comes together. And I think that's what really makes the auction business fun, Relationships, yep.
The relationships and events. Now, you kind of said something that I think ties into customer service, but it sounds like you have the flexibility and the ability to do things maybe that you couldn't do if it was a corporate
Correct.
outfit.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, maybe, but I doubt Mannheim or even the old Odessas is going to let the old boys from the recon shop put barbecue in the smoker all day and tend to that, while they're parking cars, cleaning cars, and putting up Christmas lights and just creating that atmosphere that everybody just loves, man. It puts people in a good mood. It makes them want to spend a little more money. The seller, even though maybe they didn't have the best night because it's Christmas week, they said, "Yeah, we're glad we're here. We're glad we're a part of the family." Which to me that means everything. I mean, where we were 4 or 5 years ago, even before COVID, to where we are now, it's exciting for me. And to Rich's point, to make auctions great again. I think every independent's on that way. We just got to keep pushing the events, the excitement, and that customer service.
Bingo. I'm in with you on that one all the way. Barbecuing. And is there really good barbecue in New York? Come on, man.
Our barbecue is,
quite frankly, tremendous. Really, really good. We're going to drill, baby, drill, I say, Rich. We're going to bid, baby, bid, okay? Really, really good.
I'm not buying it there, Donald. I'm thinking the barbecue here in Houston, Texas is pretty stout. And Austin, Texas. Austin has some good barbecue.
It's kind of like your market report, for your guys' cars out there. It's better because there's no rusty cars, you know what I'm saying? Don't knock our barbecue, okay? You got to come up.
No.
I told you, see me, I'm going to cook you some barbecue.
So here's what we did today. We tried something new, and today might not have been the day to do it, but it was our Christmas sale. We didn't go all out, but we went a little overboard. Went out and bought a countertop convection oven.
Nice.
Went to the little local restaurant supply store and bought ourselves a gallon tub of pre-made sugar cookie dough.
Nice.
And we did fresh baked Christmas cookies. As the dealers came in, we were pulling out of the oven and handing them to them warm. They were like, "Oh, that's warm." Yes, sir, that's warm. That's the whole idea behind it.
That's what I'm saying right there. That just creates, that dealer goes home and he goes, "Man, I had fun today. That was a good sale." Besides business, because sometimes it's cutthroat. Sometimes you got to do, you got to arbitrate a car you don't want to arbitrate or kind of be that guy. But Rich, that's awesome. How many cookies did you guys put out? And give me, what do you think was going through your dealers' heads when they walked into the office to get their bidder badge? And they're like, "Is that cookies? Is that?"
We couldn't have set it up better. So where the Ty's been to my facility, where the reception desk used to be, we got rid of the receptionist. We don't need a receptionist. We got this. Let's greet them when they come in. So we put the convection oven right there. And so it's got a fan on it. It was blowing the exhaust air towards the front door. So as soon as you open that front door, you got the smell of the fresh baked cookies going. And they were walking over there like, "Wow, what do you got?" And they were super polite. Sometimes you give them free food and they want to run you over. They were super polite. And then they go out and they did the sale. And then we have a short break between the regular sale and the in-op sale. They all came running in. "Hey, can I have another cookie?" We were making cookies again. Guess what? They all stuck around for the in-op sale. Why? Yeah. Because when it was over, they came back in. They wanted more cookies.
More cookies?
I mean, I don't know how many dozens they made in the front office, but it was cool. It was fun. It was something we tried to do different. Yep. And I always said, "Hey, guys, we got to get creative. How can we get creative?" I mean, who gives out fresh baked cookies at an auction?
I know that I'm going to probably pretty soon because that's a great
There's
idea.
There's a child's book. If you give a mouse a cookie,
yes,
the same principle works here. It just keeps going. I want more. I want more. And it sounds like it worked really well for you.
It did. So there's another idea. So, we talk about getting auctions, making them great again. Food, bring it back to cafeteria. Cafeterias went away.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, there's nothing better when I was 12 to 14 age, and I'm getting ready to pop hoods, and it's cold, and we go back to the cafeteria, and the lady that ran the cafeteria still works for us today. It's actually her birthday today. It was awesome. She's been with us for 39 years, and she doesn't do the cafeteria anymore because of COVID, and she's getting older, but she still comes in, makes us all coffee on Wednesdays, does the titles, mails everything out, but nothing was better than that roast beef dinner with that hot gravy, mashed potatoes on sale night when it was 0 degrees out and all the buyers are in there. We're all talking business, and Grandpa always says, "Cover your ears. You don't want to hear about what they're talking about." But I really believe that cafeteria talk, for one, it gets both buyers and sellers to your house, right? I love that because when you go to a dealership, everybody's high strung. Sometimes you'll get in for a little visit, but it's really nice, that cafeteria talk. I love it. Sitting down, "Hey, what's going on? What are you guys seeing? What are you guys hearing?" "Oh, I'm hearing ACV's the worst auction anymore." I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean? But it's fun. That's a whole part of the independent auction. "Yeah, I'll be there an hour early. What's for dinner tonight?" It's just something that's it's something that we need back. And I think COVID kind of pushed that away because of all, the regulations and what we had to do. But without it, people kind of forgot about it. And it just proves, last night, man, we had fun. Everybody's at their tables, and You know, they were eating and getting ready to go, and it was a fun atmosphere.
You know, I've said this a million times. I'll say it for 1,000,001. Human beings are tribal by nature. So if you start giving food and you create a sense of community and you put it down at the same table, how about let's not like divide the tables. Let's just create a bigger table. Let's bring everybody together and start talking. I mean, my brain's already spinning. The boss is going to listen to this. He goes, "You're going to do what now?" I'm like, "Yep, we're bringing the cafeteria somehow." I mean, we'd have a food truck come in. We got to figure out something. We got to get a little more back to the community.
Yep, I love that.
We're going to do it.
Okay, I need you guys to help me out. I had a phone call today. This is auction. It's kind of fall into the line in customer service, but dealer of mine calls. I haul his cars every week. He buys at the same auction every week, and he says, "Hey, Ty, I'm not going to buy any cars this week at the auction." I'm like, oh, "Okay, no big deal." Like, I didn't even ask why, so he decides to tell me why. He says the auction owes me $400,000. And so I'm like, well, I don't know what that means because they aren't buying your cars. What are you talking about? Titles. $400,000 worth of titles. Is this right? Am I saying this right?
Yes and no. Yes, to a point of there. I think there's, and Rich, you could speak on this because it's Texas versus New York. But when a customer comes in to pay for a car and it doesn't have a title, we don't take their money until the title's produced. Follow me? And then the seller doesn't get any checks until they produce a title. But what I've changed and converted into our sale is 90% of our cars, if you don't have a title, we're not running it.
Damn.
It kills the market. But I have a tremendous title department, okay? And what we do is we have our big holding yard, you know, we call it the bullpen, and we always have a plush of cars. We're picking up cars every week. We're reconning them, dialing them up, whatever we got to do. And then boom, when that title comes in, let's run the car. You know, and we have a really good system on how we keep track of time, because if it happens more than 30 days, you know, the owner's going to say, why aren't these wholesale cars selling? Well, we don't have a title. You know, so we kind of help our dealers create that. You know, Rich and I, we were looking at some spreadsheets the other day, and okay, when it hits 30 days, we got to call the title clerk, the store. Where's the title? It's got to be there. So, you know, to that point, to that guy, I mean, that's frustrating as a buyer for sure. And every auction, I think, has a little different rule. But for us, you know, to me, if I'm going to buy a car, I want to take the car and the title home that night. So we really emphasize on that just to create a better market.
Yeah, I'm with you all the way. Bring a title.
Bring a
I
title.
had that conversation today with the sales team. Said, make sure. I said, here's what we need to do. We go out and get a sale. We need a good floor. We need somebody who's willing to rep their car. We need a condition report, and we need the title. We get those things put together. And tie back to your question, 400,000. Yeah. So if you take cars to the auction and you sell them and you didn't,
This is straight buyer. Straight buyer.
So he's bought them. So he's probably bought the cars. He's probably paid for them, dropped off a check, or put them on his floor plan, knows it's going to go to his floor plan. They release the cars because he's on a gate pass override. He's got the collateral. He just doesn't have the title. So, yeah.
Okay.
I could see that'd be a nightmare. But hey, I want to throw another one at you.
Yeah.
Make auctions great again.
Yeah.
Ifs. Offers.
Oh.
You love ifs?
And so I was talking to one of the auctioneers today, and he says, "Yeah, Rich, I know when that started. It was 1972." And I said, "Well, I was 1 year. I was 1 year old."
Let me guess, Rich. Odessa. Probably Odessa, right?
No, I don't know. I don't know where it started. He was just making it up. But here's where I believe it started. I believe it started in a salesperson's rhetoric, who was greedy and was good and was trying to do the right thing, and said, "Hey, you know what? I know we didn't get to your floor, but let's just put this on an offer this one time, and I'll call the buyer, I'll work the buyer, and let me try to put this together." Well, he probably puts it together. It works. Hey, let's do it again. Well, then it starts manifesting, and now all of a sudden more people want to do it. And then I think there's another byproduct that's sliding into this somewhere along the line. Either a bad dealer, a bad auctioneer, a bad general manager, or a bad auction hurt somebody somewhere on selling a car, and they had a floor,
Yep.
And as soon as they hit it, they short sold it or sold it and just didn't continue going on. So they eroded trust. So talk about making auctions good again. How do we rebuild that trust? Because floors are no longer floors. Floors are ceilings now. And it's like, damn it, we're not going to hit your ceiling every time. Tell me what it is at stake. Let's build up some trust. Let's build up some transparency so I can say it's selling. And we had a vehicle today that we absolutely had to get about $1,000 over book for. And I was working with a customer and I said, look, you got to tell me exactly what it is you need to cut this loose. So I told the auctioneer, we got it, because he knew where he had to get to. We were going, and we were able to get there, but we had that transparency. We had the conversation. Somehow, I think we can eliminate more offers because it wastes people's money. Bring a title, have a realistic floor. Let's sell more cars. That's making auctions great again, along with free roast beef, dinners, mashed potatoes, gravy, and some customer service.
You said when you told the auctioneer, I love that, because last night, so we brought in an auctioneer that we've had forever, kind of my icon in the business, Murray, and he says, you just give me a number and I'll get there whether it's right or wrong. And these old school auctioneers, that's how it used to be. The guy gets on the block, he kicks him, whatever it is, the number is the number. But nowadays, you're right, it's all about ifs. And I don't understand ever really what happened. Now, Grandpa used to tell me ifs started because of the bank. So we have a night sale. And there was a lot of night sales back in the day, right? I mean, everything was a night sale. And the banks close at 5 o'clock, and there's no one to rep the car. You know, to your point, they always give us a $500 window, but if it's $600, we sell that car. Sometimes the bank's like, well, I didn't tell you to sell it. You know, now you owe us $100. But you're right. I think a lot of the ifs are, I'm not going to say lazy because I don't want to insult any sellers, but what I try to do is do your homework before you get to the block. Go look at your cars. Like, you know, we got some really good sellers here. Not that I've trained them, that they've trained themselves, whatever, but when they get to the auction block, they know their 50 cars. They know which car they own wrong. They know which car they got to do some body work. They know which car is standing tall, perfect, that's going to bring King Kong money. You know, and I think that goes back to the auction, making auctions great again, is the reps, the auction rep needs to do their work too and say, hey, I'm looking into your floor prices. Man, I think you're a little off. You know, let's talk about this before we get to the block and it's a shock. And all of a sudden you're no sale, if no sale. You've lost every bit of momentum. The auctioneer's bored. The people on the ground, what am I doing here? You know, this is ridiculous. Keep them engaged. So let's just get to the point. If you're going to take $1,000 hit, you're going to take $1,000 hit. If you're going to make 1,000, make 1,000. That's great. But do your homework before you get to the block. I think that's very, very important.
Yeah, doing the homework on the block, there's nothing more frustrating than that when you're trying to figure it out.
Yep. And then it's like, put it on an if.
Which, if I heard you right, that's a customer service.
Yep.
I mean, you're offering a customer service to your dealer. Let's get the prices. Let's get the book out. Let's do. I mean, that alone, that's another perfect example of what I'm talking about, where you have that relationship and you're helping the guy to win. Ultimately, that's the goal, right? It's to win.
That's the goal.
So I've got a gentleman that sits at the front desk that used to own his own restaurant, and unfortunately, COVID ran him out because he had his restaurant here in downtown Houston, Texas. And so when they shut down all the offices, he lost his business, which is sad because he's a great dude. So here is, we're teaching him the auction business. And I love this because you get somebody that they don't have bad habits to break. Right. So I'm like, all right, dude, here's the deal. When the customer walks up and fills out the sheet that says they want to consign a car, because a lot of them will do it, you know, they'll just bring it. They'll drive the car into us. We love it. We don't do transportation. Drive it in, they walk in, they fill out the sheet. I said, right then, that's your opportunity. Get all the information you possibly can. Make sure you get a VIN number, and then we're going to go look this thing up. And we're using Black Book. Paul Machine hooked us up. We're using Black Book. We're like, all right, what do you think this car is? And they'll write down a price. And we're like, dude, you know what? Best case scenario, this car is, you want 10 grand for it? Best case, this car is worth $7,500. Is it crystal clean? Yeah, it's clean. Okay, is it this? No, it's got a couple dents and scratches. Okay. Yeah. It's not quite clean. All right, so you're probably going to get 6,500. Now we're having those conversations there and said, let's set a realistic price. And I've told a couple guys, I'm like, look, you can write 10 grand down. I'll run it across there. I don't need practice driving. I don't need practice auctioneering. And then I'm not going to sell it. And then you're going to come back and want to know why we didn't get it. And I just told you why. Because it's not priced accurately. We're not going to get the pipe dream. So if we can start getting those, and I think working on getting rid of some ifs. Now, this strategy overall, I've taken the sale I'm managing right now, or it's managing me, however you want to look at it. And we were running when I started 16, 18 months ago, we were in the high 50s for conversion. Everything was going on offer. I said, look, we got to move away from offers. Strategy is move away. Today, 16, 18 months later, we're over 70% conversion consistently.
Attaboy.
How do you get 30% more? And it's like, guys, we're having the tough conversations. I'm selling more cars this year. I'm not running any more cars. I'm way more efficient. And now people want to come. Why? Because when they raise their hand, they know they're going to get a car. That's making auctions great again.
Yeah, it is.
Tremendous, Rich. Tremendous.
Tremendous.
Hey, I wasn't doing it for kudos. I'm doing it to try to help other managers. It's like we've got to get our arms around the wholesale market again and start building trust up with these dealers, the buyers and the sellers, and say, look, we're not here to screw you. We're here to make a buck. You're here to make a buck. They're here to make a buck. But we can't keep trying to roll everybody over and not trusting everybody, because at the end of the day, that happens, then that kind of puts us where we're at before we have to make auctions great again. Yeah, you know where I'm going.
All the time. I see a lot of times too, like dealers will kind of argue with the auctions, about arbitrations. I think arbitrations, especially nowadays with these cars, I think is very. I listen to a lot of the online platforms, and they don't want to get stuck with cars, right? No auction does, but the arbitration rules, NAAA has done a pretty good job, but I feel like every sale has a little different rules. And a lot of times, that's not engine noise, that's upper end noise, that's not lower end noise, that's, this is arbitrable, that's not arbitrable. It gets so complicated, and a part of being in our shoes is I got a seller, I got a buyer, and I got to protect both of them. And sometimes being that referee, that mediator is tough, and I feel like my goal is for the next, year is really to work with NAAA and say, guys, what is the rules? All these sensors on cars, these electric cars, there's so many new things coming. And the problem is us auction guys have to really stick tight together to these rules and say, guys, this is what it's going to be. I don't know in Texas, but like up in New York with electric cars, especially this time of year, they're horrible.
Well, so Kyle, this is the best situation ever because you've walked me right into where I want to go. Ty and I have a great idea, and we need an entrepreneur like you to help us out. We want to open a brand new auction, red light auto auction.
I agree. I would love that.
Yes. This is sticky. You bring a car, we're going to run it as is. You're going to build your trust up by being a good seller, right? We're going to run everything as is. There's no arbitrations. You buy it, you own it, you sell it, you whatever.
That's
and
why
it's like, let's get back to pure wholesale.
Yep. There's actually a sale, I'd say about 200 miles from me in Pennsylvania. And they do a pretty good sale. They do about 200 a week, and it's all as is. Everything's as is, but they have a strong market. But what I love about it is, I think across the board, people are lazy. But that sale, he has trained people, come early, look at your vehicles, look what you're buying, be a man. This is a big leagues. This isn't like I'm going to go buy a car and hopefully just get out of it if I don't want it. Actually pay attention. A lot of these guys, I kind of laugh in a way because they get their bidder badge, they go out to the lane, and they just start swinging. I'm like, you guys don't even know if the other side has got a hole in the door or what. You're just bidding, But the problem is the old school car guy isn't there anymore, and they all rely on your phone to tell you what the car's worth. They buy the car, and then they go try to unwind it.
Yep.
Because there's a fault, because they just didn't do their homework.
Because they were lazy.
Correct.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. We got to cater to these guys and help them out as best we can, but we also need a little effort on their side.
Yep. So
Take
I'm
away
in
the PSI.
Yeah. So here's what I was going to say about that. So I'm in a unique situation where majority of my sale, 95% of it's commercial. I'm just now trying to start building up the dealer consignment. So I had the dealer team in there today, and we don't have any really dealer cars. So I said, look, you're going to go out and do sales calls today. I don't need you in here. I can sell cars. I need you to go out. Before you go out, and here's the kind of conversation I had with them. I said, look, I know what goes on out there. I've been there. I said, but I'm not a salesperson, so I need you to translate this. But this is like buying a house. When you sell a house, you call up a real estate agent, aka the auction. Real estate agent says, hey, Kyle, tell me a little bit about your house. Is the washer staying? Is the dryer staying? Is the microwave staying? Is the fridge staying? How's the furnace work? Is the foundation good? You have to fill out this whole disclosure.
Yep.
A CR. Okay, now the house hits the market and goes up for sale. Somebody comes by, takes a look at it, and says, hey, I'll offer you X number of dollars for the house. You say, yep, I'll take that offer. Then they also they can write it up in the offer that says, hey, I want this to be inspected. Post-sale inspection. If it passes all these things and you say it is what it is, then I'll go ahead and continue to buy and we'll go fund the deal and we'll transact the house. Doing these cars, we just do it a lot faster, is a lot similar. Yep. And if we can build that trust up in auctions, we can make them great again. Look, do a CR, take your pictures, tell us what's right or wrong with the car when you got it. Don't send it, do your homework. Here we go again. That's the theme tonight. Do your homework. Hey, Mr. Car Owner, Mr. Used Car Manager, Mrs. Used Car Manager, whoever you are, you took this car on trade. You obviously had to appraise it. Somebody appraised it. You know what the number is. That number can't be that far off from what it's going to sell over here. But when you show up at the sale, all of a sudden you think it's worth 2 times as much. And then you don't tell me what's right or wrong with the car.
All the time.
WTF.
Magic man.
But I love the dealer.
And
there's some really good ones out there. Do not get me wrong. I don't want to go off. There's a couple of bad ones that just spoil it for the good ones. But if we can we got to get back to building trust up with these guys and gals so that they know what they're bidding on. They know what they're buying. We know what they're selling. And then we can sit down at the same table together, have hot roast beef dinner with grandma's mashed potatoes and gravy.
Yep. And I think, we're fortunate. Our dealers, I mean, we're very blessed. They take care of us. They do their homework. You're like Rich said, you're going to find that one or two that doesn't really care, but it is fun to work with people when everybody's on the same page. The expectations are all the same because you do your homework before the sale. And when you go to the sale, okay, everybody's on the same page. I think a lot of, what I try to do is these pre-sale inspections, and I feel like they're very good because it's a lot of times these used car managers, they miss things. They don't really look over the desk at the car. They just look at their computer and say, yeah, it's MMR's $12,000. It's got to be worth $12,000. Well, they didn't realize it's got no cats and the rockers are gone and whatever else. So the pre-sale inspections for us is really nice because what we try to do is announce everything. We'll say green light, bad rear end. Everything else, that car is perfect. The only thing we found is a bad rear end. It eliminates a lot of arbitrations because that's what I was up against. One thing I got out of ACV was their arbitration policy. The dealer never got it back. Well, I'm like, I don't want to eat cars, and I don't want my sellers, or my buyers, I don't want to run any car down their throat. So what we came up with is, hey, Mr. Seller, we sell every week together. Give us your cars ahead of time. Let me go through all your cars, pre-sale them. I'm going to make a list. I'm going to say, hey, let's fix 14 of these cars. The other 5 are going to as is. And the other 5, you know what we're going to do? We're going to tell them what's wrong with the car. Wow, geez, I don't know. Well, how do you mean you don't know? If you're buying an Altima, right, and everyone thinks it's probably a bad tram. It's probably a bad tram. No, it's not. The rear end's bad, and it's like $400 to fix. But if it's a tranny, it's $8,000, and everyone's like, I'm not even going to. That's a plague. I'm not even. So my thing is like transparency. When you're an auctioneer on the block, hey, guys, this car's good. The auction found it's got a bad rear end. And people, they feel comfortable. And like nobody's pulling something over their head. You know what I mean? And that, to go back to Rich, like that's what makes the independence, great again, is like transparency with your buyers and your sellers. I hate that old school car guy. 100% green light, everything's good. The poor guy gets down one exit and the rear end falls out of it. It's horrible.
Yeah, it's not good. Goes back to what Ty and I coined CAT. Consistency, accuracy, transparency.
Yep.
Be consistent. And be accurate. Be
more
transparent.
More cars will be sold. More cars, more buyers and more sellers will be happy. Unfortunately, these cars, like I say a lot of times, unless they're at least turning, they get traded in for a reason typically. There's probably something wrong with that vehicle that they didn't want to fix. Where's the ghost, But our arbitration, we sold yesterday, almost 300. I think we had 3 arbs, because everything's announced. But all our buyers are super comfortable with our announcements because they trust the independent auction. Because they know if they call me at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night and say, hey, Kyle, I bought that car. You said it's good. It's not. Wow, how did we miss that? But okay, let's take it. Let's work together on it. So I think that's big for the independents, and we need to get back to that, is that customer relation, that trust in this business, because these cars are getting too expensive to try to, screw people over on. I hate that.
So walk us through your dealer consignment process real quick, high level. So, because you do it a little different.
We do a little different.
You do a little better.
Thanks, friend. I appreciate that. Again, we had some serious competition in our backyard, and we had to do better. We had to think outside the box. So we have a little spreadsheet, like Rich seen. It's really, really cool tool. So what I learned is, the internet platforms, well, it's easy, man. It's so easy. Guys, walk me through, why is it easy? I don't understand. Like, well, the independent, your guys' any auction, you got to go there, you got to do this, you got to do that, arbitrations, and there's titles and this and that. I go, okay, we can make this super easy. Build a spreadsheet. The managers see it. The owner can see it. The auction sees it. My mechanics see it. And it's called the drive. So the manager takes a car in, he puts it on the drive. We see it in-house. Boom. It's ready for trucking. We bring the car in. Now we pre-sell this vehicle. We check the frame. We do a test drive. And then we have a little algorithm built now. And this is everything that's wrong with the car. And then I will talk to our consigners and say, we should fix X, Y, Z. And we get it ready for the sale. Then my title clerks, they go right to work. They get the titles. We put them in the sale, and the auctioneer sees all of the announcements. Green light, bad rear end. Green light, four-wheel drive is in-op, whatever it is. Or we say, hey, guys, this is an Equinox. We just put a brand-new timing chain in it. Here's the bill. It's 100% expressway guaranteed. Boom, we sell the car. So, we pretty much are what we kind of made ourselves is like a mini wholesale manager for the stores. So we really are the eyes to these guys' cars, because unfortunately today there's so many things going on in a dealership. They don't have time. They really don't, so we'll come pick up your car, get it right out of your backyard super quick so they're not laying around, and we get right on them. We try to get back to them within 24 hours of what we got to do to the vehicle. So it's just worked very, very good. And we have our niche dealers, and they come every single week because they trust us. And they value us because we build these cars. The old spend $100,000 or spend 10 grand and get 100 grand back. It is proven to work, but people come, our buyers love to come buy our vehicles because they know what's wrong with the vehicle, and most of them are already green light and they're fixed, so that retail ready is super key.
And who's fixing them? You?
All in-house. Yep. All
Sweet.
In-house. Built
Recon, baby.
Recon, mechanic shops. And it's funny because ADESA was always the one-stop shop price, and Recon kind of drifted for a while because it cost so much money. Everything was about price. Now, don't get me wrong, we got to give deals, right? But to me, it's important to say, hey, listen, my time's worth something. If I can spend $1,000 on your vehicle and it'll do $4,000 more, it's probably worth it. And they all agree. And it takes some time to get that trust, because so many people have been screwed over that they're like, I'm not going to let you do this to my cars, but we're billing out $30,000, $40,000 a week in just Recon. But when they get to the auction block, our sellers know and trust our work, that it's ready to go, So it's super important.
To build trust, you have to give trust.
That's right. But it's so much fun when you're selling. You got a dealer with 100 cars and you're selling 88, 90 of them, and there's not one arbitration. They know that next morning phone call is just, hey, great sale. Not, well, I got 15 cars in arbitration. I hate that phone call. We've kind of broke that phone call. So again, make auctions great again. Do the extra work,
So it's not going to be easy to make auctions great again. You're not going to be able to just walk into work one day, press a button, and go, bam, here it is. It's going to take a little bit of work.
It takes a lot of the team too. We're very blessed with the team that we have. We're growing a little faster than, everybody wants to grow fast, but we're growing fast and we have a lot of growing pains. But our general team is very good, and we're all kind of on the same page, and it's fun to keep building the business. I love going out on the road, shaking these dealers down, and knowing that I have the infrastructure to home, because my word means a lot. Last week we picked up a new dealer. He loves an online platform. He told me no, and I said and I got him. I was so proud. I got 5 cars out of him. We sold 100% last night. Dropped his checks off on his desk today, and he goes, that was really easy. And I can't believe what the cars did. And wow, thank you. And I'm like, that's what I'm here for. Well, here's 5 more keys. I'm like, thank you. You know what I mean? It's just that, to me though, is like why I do it. Because one, if I tell you I'm going to do something, we do it. You know what I mean? I'm going to get you the most money out of that vehicle because I pretty much touch see every vehicle. You know, I want every rim to be perfect. I want every car to be buffed. I want every photo to be perfect. I want the CRs to be good. You know, it's the fun of it to say, here's your checks. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for trusting me. Where I just feel like the big houses don't have that personal touch anymore. You know, they lost that. And that's where the independents right now, I think, are going to come back strong.
That's what I've been saying for at least a year.
Yep.
Been
Bingo.
running around everywhere saying, watch out, independent auctions, now's your time.
Thank you for joining me on this episode of Meet Me at the Gate. I hope the conversations help to fuel your drive and equip you with insights to steer your team towards success. Remember, the road to success is always under construction. And until next time, keep your engines revving and your gas tanks full.